I feel every video game franchise has that one game that's overlooked or underrated, and if you're looking at the mainline Mario games, that is definitely Super Mario Sunshine. I've seen this game thrown under the bus by many YouTubers who really don't know what they're talking about, and I'm here to give my own thoughts, my opinions, and just to prove how much of a masterpiece this game actually is. The story's pretty straightforward. Mario, Peach, Toadsworth, and the rest of the Toads, they go on vacation to Isle Delfino. Somebody wrecked this place with a goop, graffiti, paint substance, and it's just a mess. As you make your way across the airstrip, you'll come across FLUDD. He's going to be your water jetpack throughout the whole game. He has different nozzles you can use, like a rocket nozzle to get super high up in the air, the turbo nozzle to run super fast, swim super fast in the water, and just a normal hover nozzle to extend your air time when you're platforming. And you can just shoot water at obstacles, enemies, tons of stuff. And with the GameCube controller, you can press the R button very lightly and squirt just a little bit of water, but if you click it all the way down, you can squirt a full stream. And while you're standing still, you can do that without having to move. You can also press the Y button to go in first person mode and squirt that way. Third person, first person. After acquiring FLUDD, you'll reunite with Peach and Toadsworth and all the Toads, and then you'll get arrested. And so this is where the story really takes a turn, because you got here for a vacation and you're like, well, what's going on? This place is a mess. And then you are getting blamed for it. You make your way through Isle Delfino, and then you run into Shadow Mario, who's a evil blue Mario with red eyes, and he captures Peach, goes to the Delfino statue in the main of the hub world, and you chase after him, and then you go into the first area, Bianco Hills. This game has like 7 worlds. You got Bianco Hills, Rico Harbor, Gelato Beach, Pina Park, Serena Beach, or I guess you could say Serena Beach. We'll just call it Serena Beach. You got Noki Bay and Pianta Village. So it's like 7 hub worlds, 7 worlds to explore. Each world has 8 levels, and people are like, oh, you can't do them out of order, like in Mario 64. Well, I feel like in Mario Sunshine, they're story-driven, so it's like each episode level of each world you complete, they progress the story of that world. Like, in level 1 of a world, it could be like dirty and messy, and by the time you get to level 3, it's starting to look cleaner, and things are going back to how they were before Shadow Mario wrecked it. So I like that. It's also not even true, because there are certain levels you can do out of order. Like, you could fight Petey Piranha, which is episode 2 of Bianco Hills. You can fight him on episode 1. You just need to jump up to that bridge, and you can fight him. So you can skip the whole level 1 Goop Monster if you really wanted to. In each world, there's at least 1 or 2 secret courses. And these secret courses, I guess you could call them FLUDDless levels. So basically, FLUDD gets snatched, and it's all just Mario, all just platforming. These levels can be simple to kind of complicated a little bit. People just really talk like, oh, these are so hard. Me personally, I don't think they're that hard. Like, sure, you might die, but like, they're not the end of the world. Like, people make this out to be. People just like exaggerate. These aren't that bad, and I love them. Some worlds only have 1 secret level, but some of them have like 2. Take, for example, Bianco Hills, episode 3 and episode 6, I believe. Whereas if you play Gelato Beach, there's only 1. If you're not including the Sandbird, which that's not a FLUDDless level. Once you clear the secret course or the FLUDD level, there's a red coin mini game you can do to get another shine sprite. Shine sprites are this game's stars, if you will. And so when you beat a secret course, don't forget to replay it one more time to get the red coins. The red coins, you will have FLUDD. I think it would have been funny if you didn't have FLUDD, even for the red coins, because people would probably be even more angry. On episode 7 of each world, you will chase after Shadow Mario. He'll spawn in, and you'll chase after him. Just keep squirting him, and eventually he will fall, and he'll drop a shine sprite, and you collect that, and that's that. You have to beat at least episode 7 of each world to get to the final boss. So I know like in Mario 64, you only need 70 stars total, and it doesn't matter how you get them, you just need 70 to get to the final boss. On here, you have to do the main worlds in order until you beat level 7, so you don't have to do episode 8 of each world. I can understand that might be frustrating for like a casual person who just doesn't really care to collect all the shines. But honestly, for someone like me who's always trying to get everything in order, it doesn't bother me at all, honestly. But yeah. On certain levels in certain worlds, you can race a guy called Il Pentissimo. It's very similar to the Koopa the Quick races from Mario 64. They're not hard, they're pretty easy, pretty fun. You can rematch him, and I believe he will be a lot quicker. He'll have a faster time to beat. Mario has never felt so perfect in any 3D Mario game. Like, his moveset is so good. You can do a jump with a spin jump, and then you can do a triple jump without even needing that second jump. You can also do a side somersault into a dive jump, and you can get some serious height with that. So if you press A and B at the same time, you can do like a dive jump, but if you do a side somersault mid-air, press A and B while you're doing that, you can get some serious height. The controls in this game are perfect. Like, I've never played a 3D Mario with such perfect controls. The camera, I feel, isn't bad at all. In some instances, very rare instances, it can get like cornered and kind of weird. But honestly, like, that's very rare. Especially because I played this game like a million times. The camera never gives me problems. Just very rare moments. But the moveset is flawless. This game is often criticized for being too hard. But I don't like a game that's just a walk in a park, you know? And I don't think it's as hard as people let on to be. I think people just like to exaggerate, you know? They hardly play something, and then they like, oh, yeah, it's so hard. I've played this game my whole life. Probably 100%ed it thousands of times. Even beat it when I was like 5, you know? And I've never thought, oh, this is too hard, you know? It's harder than Mario 64 and Galaxy, but like, saying that's hard is just like, it's not really hard. There are a couple levels that are kind of like whatever, like the pachinko machine. I actually only usually die once on here, but on this playthrough I actually didn't die. I did on my first try, surprisingly. The physics of the pachinko machine are kind of like, eh. But once again, you don't have to beat that level to beat the game. It's just an optional Delfino shine, which there's a bunch of them. Mario feels as good as ever. FLUDD is just an extension of his moveset. You want to extend your air time, or like, say you do a jump, but you want to correct it mid-air, you can do that. You can use a rocket nozzle to get to new heights, and even use it while you're in the water, jump up, blast up with it, dive in the air to get even further. The turbo nozzle, you speed around Isle Delfino if you want. You know, you can go super fast in the water to get places. It's just a great helping tool, you know. I love FLUDD. You know, every 3D Mario game after 64 has like some sort of partner. You have like the White Luma from Mario Galaxy. You have like he's in Galaxy 2 as well, but you also have like that red one if you're playing 2-player. In Mario Odyssey, you have Cappy. But FLUDD is my favorite. If you're not including like Yoshi and all that, but you know. This game's art style is just absolutely amazing. The music, the scenery, everything about it is just so colorful. The colors pop. It's just beautiful aesthetic, and I love it. My favorite world in the game is like Bianco Hills, but it would be Pianta Village is my absolute favorite. Pianta Village, then Bianco Hills, but they all look so amazing. And like Serena Beach, like the sunset, it's just so amazing. Like the colors, and the whole world is connected. So you can like see the other areas in the distance. So they're all like around Isle Delfino. So it's pretty cool. Each level will have you doing different tasks, like defeat this boss, or collect these red coins in a village, or defeat another boss, do another task. They're never repetitive. I love them. They're lots of fun, and I'm never thinking to myself like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. You know, it's a lot of fun. The music in this game, especially Pianta Village. I think the Pianta Village at night theme, I think it's slightly different, but oh, it's just so relaxing. And it's just the night sky with that music playing. It's just so perfect and beautiful. I just love it. The boss theme, epic, gives like a sense of urgency. But the Deep Sea Mare from episode 8 of Noki Bay, it's the only time that song ever plays, Deep Sea Mare. It's just so amazing, and like it just gives this feeling of nostalgia, and it's kind of like saddening, but I love it. It's just so calming and relaxing. The music, 10 out of 10. It's no secret that this game was rushed. Somewhere along the development cycle, they had to speed up the process and get the game done. And it's not like nowadays where, take Call of Duty for example, they can just like patch it later. You had to get the game done, whatever you could, put on a disc and get it going, you know? You couldn't update it later back then. But, for instance, when Shadow Mario arrives where the Peanut Park entrance is with his Bowser mobile, a yellow toad. All the toads are running around, but there's a yellow toad that's missing. And he's underneath the map. You can like clip through a wall. There's some wall clips you can do. And he's just underneath there. You can talk to him, but you gotta keep moving when you're in that like dead zone, otherwise you will die. You gotta keep jumping. But yeah, there's also like a rocket nozzle in one of the bell towers by the beach on Isle Delfino. There's a rocket nozzle box inside of the wall. You could tell that they probably just forgot, or maybe that's originally where it was supposed to be, or they just forgot to like remove the model. But yeah, you can tell the game was rushed. But even if it was rushed, it's still amazing. Like, it's just tiny minor inconveniences, but it doesn't break the game. You know, the game still plays flawlessly. No game is perfect. Even if a game's a 10 out of 10, there's always something that could be better. You know, there's a little bit better. Like, there's always something you can say, like, that could be a little bit better. Even if you say the game's 10 out of 10. Mario Sunshine is my favorite video game of all time. I love it. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I'm sure many others do too. But there's always stuff that can be tweaked. Like the pachinko machine, they could definitely have tweaked that, because like the physics of it can be a little weird and wonky to get used to. The lily pad ride level, not the level itself, but getting to it. It's just, you have to stay on those boats with Yoshi, and then you have to like eat the fruit. It's just such a pain in the butt. And yeah, you can wall clip, thankfully. You can wall clip just to get down there, but it's just like, those things could be fixed. And some level design could be a little bit tweaked. Like those panels you shoot water at in the Delfino Casino in Serena Beach. That can just be annoying. But, you know, it's pretty funny, though. It's like it trolls you. The game's trolling you. Something I didn't even mention yet is the blue coins. So basically, in Mario 64, the blue coins are like 5 coins each. And on here, they're just currency. So when you open up Rico Harbor, basically, I guess you could call it World 2, there's like a Tanuki stand that will trade you blue coins for shine sprites. Yet the Delfinos, they're like, oh, you're the one who made the shine sprites flee and blah, blah, blah. But these guys are just over here selling them like drug dealers. Also, there's like 2 Marios chasing after each other. You know, and clearly one's the good one and one's the bad one, but they still believe that you're the culprit. There's also a Pianta on fire on the beach when he could just jump in the ocean, but he chooses not to. The Piantas are just disgusting people. I'll get to that next. But the blue coins, so the blue coins definitely could have been like built in better. So certain levels, they only spawn in certain levels. And that can be a little confusing, trying to collect them all. I know this game by heart, but if you never played this game, you would never even know that. Like, you would never know only a couple spawn in certain levels, and it can be hard to keep track of them. There's 30 in each world, 20 in Isle Delfino, actually 19. Until you go to the airstrip, there's 1 there. So, basically 20, because the airstrip is part of Isle Delfino if you open your map. But the blue coins could have been worked better. They could have did something like Mario Odyssey, where you have like that map, and it gives you like a hint for like the power moons, like where they're at. They could have did something like that. But, I mean, this is back in the day, so they probably haven't thought of that. But, yeah, I don't think the blue coins are that bad, but yeah, if you never played the game, good luck trying to keep track of them. Now back to the Piantas being terrible creatures. I feel like they know that Mario's not the bad guy. Because on one of the levels in Serena Beach, they're like, can we ask you, or can we trick you? I mean, ask you to come in? It's like, it's funny, like funny dialogue, but it just shows how like disgusting creatures they really are. And in Pianta Village, one of them is like, we'll never forget our debt to you. Probably. Like, they literally say that. And it's like, and like the Chucksters, like, they just try to randomly throw you and stuff. Like, not even in the Chuckster level on episode 5 of Pianta Village. Take the goop level where they're like drowning in the goop. They'll just toss you up in the air once you save them. Like, the Piantas are terrible creatures. Something to also bring up is the 100 coins. In Mario 64, each level had a 100 coin star. Same thing on here. So basically, get 100 coins in a level, you get a shine sprite. But there's a catch. Not every level has 100 coins in each world. So there's like certain levels you have to play to get 100 coins in each world. And so you could be like on episode like 2 of Bianco Hills, like, oh, I'm gonna get 100 coins. You'll get like 40 or something. You'll be like, oh, where'd the rest go? Oh, there's not even 100 in that level. Whereas in Mario 64, there's 100 in each level, you know? But these are like story-based missions, whereas Mario 64 is just like level tasked. I don't know how you would even describe that, but it's like there's a story of progressing events in Mario Sunshine, whereas Mario 64, it's like free the Chain Chomp, defeat King Babam, you know? It's just like stuff like that. But Bianco Hills, episode 8, Rico Harbor, episode 3, easy 100 coins. Gelato Beach, do episode 8. Pina Park, episode 6, is it? It's the one where you're on the beach and there's like a bunch of those little green guys flying. Serena Beach, do it on episode 7, when all the doors are open. Noki Bay, episode 8. You can probably get 100 before you even go down to the Deep Sea Mare. And then Pianta Village, episode 5. Grab all the coins on the underside, and then upside, easy 100 coins. So it's, if you know the level and this exact level, it's not really that bad, but it is like a pain, I guess you could say. As I've mentioned before, Isle Delfino has its own set of shine sprites. There's like 2 hidden pipes you can take. There's the lily pad ride, the pachinko machine. And these levels, besides the pachinko machine, they're really not hard, you know. And there's like a turbo nozzle one by the police station where you're just constantly running. I love all these. But the pachinko machine, it's just like everybody complains about that, and that is kind of valid. Just because like it's just kind of weird and random physics, and like it kind of pushes you around. Like I said, I usually only die once on it. This playthrough I didn't die at all on it, but it can be kind of wonky. Yeah, they definitely could have like tuned that a little bit, but it's really not that bad. You'll get the hang of it. I definitely recommend going like third person, first person view, and just looking at the layout of it and try to time it and like look where you're gonna land. Like the purple is right below the green in that like line, so like 1 2 1 2, you know, you'll get the hang of it. After you beat episode 7 of each world Shadow Mario levels, Isle Delfino will flood. And what's really cool about this is you can kind of clip through the ground underneath that log in the water. And you can walk on Isle Delfino, and you can tell this is like a beta version of it because there's a shine sprite where Gelato Beach is on the ground, like that where you enter Gelato Beach. Usually you can spray that and get a shine sprite, but while the FLUDD is active, it's moved and it gives you a coin. So you could tell like they were using that for testing. It's pretty cool, neat detail. And like the collision on the ground isn't even like leveled properly. So yeah, it's like an unfinished Isle Delfino. It's pretty interesting to look at and just explore, you know. Once you defeat episode 1 of Peanut Park, you find out Shadow Mario's true identity, and it's Bowser Jr. Yep, Bowser has a son. What? And Bowser tells him that Peach is his mother, which obviously that's not true. And later in the game you actually find out Bowser Jr. obviously knows that, but he's just playing along with it. And so this whole mess was Bowser Jr. and Bowser trying to get Mario sent to prison so they could steal Peach and wreak havoc. And Bowser Jr. is Bowser's only son. A lot of people think, oh, what about the Koopalings from like Mario 3 and stuff? I think it's been confirmed that those are not his kids. The only kid he has is Bowser Jr., and that's why he looks just like Bowser. After that, go into the entrance of Corona Mountain. 10 blue coins in there. Get those. Now, this is where other people complain, is the boat. Oh, the boat is just wonky. It's kind of weird to control. But only if you knew the controls were reversed. So the top part of the mud boat, it's not wood, it's a mud boat. The top of the mud boat, the controls are like reversed, and then the bottom of it, they're reversed. So you squirt in one direction, it pushes you the other way. Like if you squirt right, it'll push you left. If you just keep that in mind, it's really not hard to navigate. It can be a little tricky, but yeah, like it's not that bad. But if you crash into something, you'll die. In that magma. But yeah, you jump up the clouds with a rocket nozzle, and then you face the final boss. The final boss is like kind of underwhelming. It's not really hard, and it's over in like a minute. Whereas like Mario 64 is like some like grand finale where you have to throw them off 3 times into the bombs. Pretty crazy. Cool. But on here it's just like kind of over in a second, which I don't really mind. But yeah, when you 100% this game, you don't get nothing. You just get like that screen, have a wonderful vacation or whatever. Honestly, it don't bother me. I've played so many games that don't give you a completion bonus, and that's perfectly fine, you know. Like the completion bonus in Mario 64 was just the 100 Wives and meeting Yoshi and getting on top of the castle, but like, was that like that amazing? Like, it was cool, but like, people act like, oh, I need a completion bonus for this. No, you don't. In my opinion, the game is just so much fun and creative. It's just awesome. Like, I don't need a completion bonus. Like, playing the game itself was just amazing, you know? But yeah, I mean, when you beat Isle or Corona Mountain, you get... There's a Pianto you could talk to, and he'll give you sunglasses. But once you just beat the game once, he'll give you like the whole outfit. And they also put that outfit in Mario Odyssey, which is kind of cool. But no completion bonus, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. Obviously, they had to meet a deadline when they made this game. That's why some things kind of feel a little bit wonky, like some level design. But there's always little ways around it, like you can clip through the map or something. But yeah, I understand that can be kind of annoying. The 100 coins only beating a certain levels, and the blue coins just kind of hard to keep track of if you never play the game. But there's tiny minor things. No game is perfect, but like this game is amazing. Like, just give it a try, play it for yourself, and stop letting random YouTubers with garbage opinions become your own opinion. You know, play it, have fun, and I personally feel it's the best 3D Mario, best Mario game of all time. My personal favorite game ever. You know, and I play this all the time, so it's not nostalgia talking. I think if they had enough time back in the day, they could have tweaked stuff, you know? FLUDD is an extension of Mario's moveset. It's still the same Mario from like Mario 64, but even more improved. The side somersault, jump dive, everything. Just amazing. Perfect controls. Go play the game, give it a try. And I'll see you next time.